Everyone, I hope you well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Cardano. Once again, thank you for your continued support and your subscription and everything you do to contribute towards CoinsKid here. Really do appreciate everything that you do. It's golden. Thank you very much. So yeah, diving into Cardano right now, you can see that it's basically on our way to a target which we outlined when we were down here. We're basically bottomed out here, and I think I said that you're creating this W bottom, you're creating this level of resistance, and if you was to break it, that's your potential play right there. And from the level of resistance that was broken, you can see that was roughly a 14% trade right there, and you're currently up to 12%, so roughly a couple of percent off completing that particular target there. So that's great for any of you that took that particular trade. Brilliant, golden, well done. So moving on then, right now we can say that Cardano's looking really strong. Okay, it's come back up into this ascending triangle. It's looking really good. Meet our target, and then obviously you're going to hit a level of resistance, which is going to be the target. You're going to hit that and roll over. Okay, if you don't roll over before, but anyway, if you do, if you look at the EMAs, okay, on the 4-hourly time frame right now, you're dragging them up, and you're almost forming this thing here, which is called a bullish cross. Okay, on the 4-hourly EMA, that's really good. That's a really nice signal to see. That's a really nice signal to see for continuation, because like I said to you, everything is a what if with technical analysis. I am expecting like a big deep wave pullback, wave C pullback on a lot of projects and Bitcoin itself, and I think that if that does come, you will see the market roll over again, and then we'll start making these lower highs and then these lower lows as well, which is not necessarily what we want obviously, but it'll just sort of roll down and basically correct. But again, that might not happen, and we do have our support levels down here if it does begin to happen. Okay, but so far so good. We are picking up, we are making headway, we are above the EMAs. Golden. Look at this little upside here. It's beautiful, and continue. Long may it continue. Okay, so effectively what we've done now, we've come back into this zone, haven't we? So we're back into this zone like this, hopefully, and we can continue because we've got that nice little break up to the upside of $2. So if it was to do that, that would invalidate all that Elliott wave theory that went through yesterday's video, and obviously the ABC correction and stuff like that. So again, all patterns are at play until invalidated away, and so far so good. We're picking up and we're marching on. So I would expect that once Cardano reaches this level right here at $1.34, you may expect it to see it roll over, because you can see it's starting to get a little bit overextended just here, and that's always indicative of potential rollover, just like here when it bolted, and it goes up in these big waveforms like that. You do want to see it roll over and come back to support, and the support would be this hopefully by the time it gets up there, it would have dragged this yellow line over the red line, and by the time it comes back, it will be testing the yellow line, not the red line. Okay, do you see this? Because this is what happens here, like here when it dragged it over its shoulder, it created a bullish cross, and when it come back, it back tested it. Just continuation, back test, marching on. So that's what you want to see here for Cardano, where it rolls over, back tests this level of support, which is a yellow line, and then continues. Because what it will start to do, if it starts adhering to this level of support right now, which is the 20 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame, if it starts to do that and back to support and doesn't fall through, it's going to start pushing you up to attack these highs up here, and then hopefully get through this level of resistance right there. Because if it does, you've got a beautiful target up there of roughly $1.80 off this ascending triangle. So this would basically be like a throwback, basically, where you've broke down and you've come back into a pattern and to validate it again. So obviously you've got your breakout target was roughly something like that, where the peak of the ascending triangle was formed, and then you have a breakout just there. Looking, that takes you up to that $2 mark, which we outlined many moons ago for Cardano. So that would be nice, that would be great, but obviously always target the drawbacks. Okay, that's why we give you these levels of support moving forward. If you was to see it roll over and start to form that corrective C wave that we are anticipating on the grand scheme of things, then do anticipate that particular rollover and then holding these levels of support. If you do start to see it roll over and lose the EMAs, okay, and then you're looking at that larger rollover where it falls out of this ascending triangle, starts to come back down, loses this key level of support right now, and then rolls down to these lower levels, then that means that particular pattern is sort of at play, and the long game towards $7 is on the table right there for Cardano. But so far so good. It's picked up really well. It's showing good levels of support right now, and you can see from the bottom when it did correct, I mean from there was a whopping correction. It just sort of came, and this is the thing with the markets, okay, these corrections can come so quickly. You think you're doing okay, look, you think we're doing okay, made a high there, rolled over, boom, no, a few days later you're in the floor. Well, not in the floor, but you've had a huge correction there, and a scary correction, a 40% correction. So since that point, that 40% correction, you're now up Cardano, a whopping 42%. So that's brilliant. Brilliant for Cardano. So long may it continue, okay? But like I said to you, you're going to start to look over extended right there, and you're going to start to look for the rollover, because the more you get away from these EMAs, the more you start to roll over and backtest them as support, okay? Just like you have here, when you get too far away, roll over, backtest, and if you don't hold, look what can happen, you can go down, okay? So you could potentially be looking at that sort of scenario there. If you get too far, too extended, too quickly, and it doesn't hold support, you can see you roll, okay? You roll. We don't want that. We do want this recovery for Cardano, because if it does start to roll, then you've got to target these levels here, okay, as buyback zones, because you will see these support levels bounce for Cardano. And that's basically it. That's Cardano, okay? So what I would say to you, what I anticipate is basically, if you do see it get towards that $1.34, put in a little short, okay, down to the yellow line, because at that point you may have dragged the yellow line into a golden cross just there. If not, just a little short down to one of the EMAs, because that's what it'll do. Look what happens when it gets up and overextended. It falls back to support, and if it bounces, boom, take profit, okay? So you could be looking at a lovely little short there if it does get to our target. And you know, a lot of the projects that we've targeted out of this W bottom are getting there, and I've already got there and they start to roll. So that's why you set a little short just down to the EMAs there of like 9-10%. Just have a little pullback for confirmation of support, and that's that basic in-out trading that you can do there. And like I said to you, when you broke this level of resistance right there, go long. You're looking at a lovely 14% trade. When it's that level of resistance right there, the target, go short, back down to the EMAs, a test of support, another little 10% trade. It's just in, out, in all this chopping, all this consolidation, this boringness. There are still opportunities, okay? So that's basically Cardano. I hope you've enjoyed that update today. I will keep you posted every day on Cardano, because it's a beer moth, okay? It's a really serious project moving forward, and I do see high things and got good hopes for Cardano. But again, I want to make you aware that the market, it can be so brutal. You think you're doing okay, and it rolls over at any point. So always have that in mind. That's why I always say, take profits. Don't buy overextended EMAs, okay? Buy support, basically. You know, people will be looking at this thinking, oh, I'm going to miss out. I'm going to FOMO in because it's going to the moon. No, just exercise a level of caution, because like I said to you, you're buying up here and it rolls over and now it's down there. I mean, you would have been like selling down there because of the pressure, you're thinking it's going to zero. So always zoom out, basically. So we'll have a quick little zoom out actually and see where we are. Beautiful, we're above the EMA's head. You see that? So we've come back down, we've corrected, and we've come back now beautifully above the daily EMA. Lovely. So hopefully you can even target that as a buyback zone as well. So if it does reach up to that target and rolls over, then look for a bounce off this 20 EMA on the daily time frame there, because that would be a golden opportunity to get involved, because you can see if it holds, like when it goes up, look, and it holds, you can see each time it's actually got overextended, where it's rolled and it's actually lost the daily. Do you see that? It's lost the daily each time it gets overextended. So it's not necessarily extended from the daily, it's just extended from the impulsive move that it's actually had. So do be careful, okay? Do anticipate a bit of a rollover for Cardano quite soon. Not financial advice, but again, overextended EMAs are quite deadly to get involved in. That's Cardano. Take care, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with another update. Stay strong, stay safe, and most importantly, stay tuned. Goodbye.